Guys, I found a crazy roulette combo that, on paper, should give us a 97.83% chance of winning. But does it actually work? And what are these two secret methods? Only one way to find out. Let's put it to the test with real money. Welcome to Ninja Gamblers, where you can learn the best strategies for casino games like roulette, blackjack, and more. Subscribe and hit the bell to stay ahead of the game and maximize your chances of making big wins. Also, check out the link in the description for our Telegram channel and Instagram page, featuring exclusive content that never makes it to YouTube. Alright ninjas, today we're testing a killer roulette combo using two powerful methods, the 11th Street strategy and Oscar's grind. The first one is a high probability blocking bet with an exact 89.18% win rate, and the second is a solid recovery system that's less risky than classic martingale or Fibonacci. Combined, they should give us a 97.83% chance of winning. But is that really the case? Let's put them to the test and find out. Here we are guys, I'm playing at an Italian casino right now with euros, but the gameplay works the same no matter the currency. Just a quick reminder, not all casinos are trustworthy. Some are unlicensed, illegal, or even rigged, meaning you can lose your money with no way to recover it. If you're not sure which ones are safe, check the link in the description and the first comment for an updated list of legit casinos by country, plus sweepstakes casinos for US states that don't have regular ones. Also, I recommend switching between casinos. It might help reset the algorithms after a long session. So the first thing we're going to do is start with the 11th Street strategy, our blocking method. If you don't remember how it works, I'll link the video in the top right corner. Alright, I'd recommend starting with a low bet. I'll go with 50 cents per street. When playing the 11th Street strategy, it's always best to start small. So, I placed 50 cents on each street, one after the other, leaving just one uncovered at the end. That means I've covered 11 streets, which gives me an 89% table coverage and a high probability of winning. My total bet is €5.50. Alright, let's spin. 1. As expected. That's what will happen most of the time. When I win, I get an extra 1/11th of the total bet, which is just one base unit, so that's 50 cents profit for me. Let's keep going. Another win. So, yeah, you don't win much. Just 50 cents per spin. But you win almost 9 times out of 10. The idea is to keep stacking up profits until we finally hit a loss. Right now, we're still winning, and the balance is slowly climbing. We'll keep going until we lose. Okay, finally a loss. That means I just lost €5.50, which eats up most of the profit I made so far, but I'm still slightly up. And this is where we fight back with the second part of the combo, the recovery method. Today, that's Oscar's grind. In a previous video, we did a similar combo using Fibonacci as the recovery method, which also worked really well. If you haven't seen that one yet, I'll link it in the top right corner. Since we're using Oscar's grind today, I'll take the €5.50 I just lost and place it on the opposite colour of the last spin. That means I'm betting on red. If I win, I recover everything instantly. If I lose, we move into the Oscar's grind sequence. And I won immediately. So, nothing else to do. I've recovered the loss in one spin, meaning it's like nothing ever happened. Now, we go back to the blocking method, the 11th Street strategy. One by one, we place the bets again. Yeah, I know, setting up the bets takes a bit of time, but here we go. Back to winning. Oh, wait, spoke too soon. 0 just hit. Classic. So, back to Oscar's grind. €5.50 on black, since that's the opposite colour of the last non-zero spin. Same deal. If we win right away, we recover instantly. If not, Oscar's grind kicks in. And another instant win. Easy recovery, back on track. Alright, back to the 11th Street strategy. Setting up the same bets again, and spin. And we're back to winning. 0 hits, so it's back to Oscar's grind. Oh guys, I just realised I made a total rookie mistake. I accidentally bet on 12 streets instead of 11, so I was literally winning €0 on those last few spins. What an idiot. Oh well, let's focus on recovering with Oscar's Grind. This time we lost on the first spin, so that means the full Oscar's Grind sequence begins. Remember how it works. If not, I'll link the video in the top right corner where I explain it in detail. You should check it out because I'll only go over it briefly here. The goal with Oscar's Grind is to get back to +1 profit, meaning we only aim to recover losses, not make extra profit. That's why we bet strategically, to minimize risk and recover as fast as possible. Right now, we're at -1, and the goal is +1. When you lose, you keep the same bet on the same colour. Lost again, now we're at -2, so we repeat the same bet. Lost again, -3, same bet. Finally, a win. That brings us up to -2. Now, Oscar's Grind says to increase the bet by 1 unit when we win, so I add another €5.50, bringing the total to €11, which is 2 units. Just remember, you always need to adjust the bet so that when you win, you don't go over +1 profit. In this case, we'd only go back to 0, so we're good. Let's spin. Damn, lost again. Now we're at -4. Since we lost, we keep the same bet, another €11. Oh, come on, another loss. Now we're at -6. Same bet again, another 2 units. Finally, a win. That brings us up to -4. Since we won, we now increase the bet by 1 unit, bringing it to €16.50, 3 units. And we lost again. This grind is turning into a long one. That's just part of Oscar's Grind. Sometimes it happens. No worries, we stick to the plan. Now we're at -7, so we repeat the same €16.50 bet. Boom! A win. That brings us up to -4. Now we increase the bet by 1 unit again, raising it to €22. If we win this one, we'll recover super fast. That's the beauty of Oscar's Grind. Once you start catching wins, you climb back up quickly. Oh, finally, we won. Alright, we're back to 0. Now we just need one last bet of 1 unit to hit that +1 profit mark. So we adjust the bet to a simple €5.50, 1 unit. And we got it. Finally, that was a long one. Since I've recovered everything, we go back to the 11 street strategy. I'll speed up the video and keep playing until I reach around €50 profit. And here we are. I've hit €250 total, meaning I made €50 in profit, about $52, in 15 minutes of play. This is an average win of only $200 per hour. Obviously, this method is much slower than other systems because you have to start with a low base bet for the streets. If you don't, you risk going into Oscar's Grind too heavily right from the start, and then you can't afford long grinds like the one we just went through. If I wanted to go a bit harder, I could have started with, for example, $5, but in that case, I'd suggest having a much more generous starting balance. Otherwise, the risk is to end up hitting your stop loss pretty quickly when a long grind hits. Oscar's Grind is much safer than Fibonacci or Martingale since it's not as aggressively exponential, but it still has an exponential aspect, especially when you keep going up and down without ever fully recovering, which leads to bigger bets stacking up while losses push you lower and lower. However, with the usual advice I give in this channel, having a stop loss, knowing the risks and playing safe, this is a combo that has a lot of potential. But I have to say my opinion. Personally, I still slightly prefer Fibonacci over Oscar's Grind for recoveries in the combo methods. It's got a bit more edge to it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. We try to respond to everyone. I remind you that in the link in the description, you can find a list of safe and certified online casinos in your country and in each US state. I recommend using certified casinos if you want peace of mind and to avoid scams, rigged games, or even playing in illegal casinos in your country and having trouble with the law. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. See you soon, ninjas.